Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and here we are. It is the final week of my top 43 for Eurovision 2018. I'll be counting down my top 10 favourite songs from this year's contest in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled on who that top 10 is without hearing the context of the rest of the 43, you basically have until that bar at the bottom of the screen disappears until I start talking about my top 10, so if you want to see my bottom 33, go and watch those other videos first and then come back. Also, please do feel free to share your personal top 43s in the comments below, but remember two things. First of all, if you want to give me your top 43, make sure it is a complete top 43, including your own country if necessary, and don't feel obliged to put the auto-qualifiers in your top 26. This isn't about predicting the future, this has got nothing to do with anything, it's just how you personally feel. What is your top 43? What is your final rankings? So I'll combine those with everybody else's and with mine, and we'll have a mega top 43 in a little while. And the second thing with that is, don't do that if you're watching this pretty far after it's uploaded, because the deadline cutoff for submitting top 43s to me is Friday the 4th of May. After that, I will stop collecting top 43s, and any top 43s that aren't complete by then, I won't be including in the mega top 43, so bear those things in mind. If you are submitting a top 43 to me, make sure that it's complete and finalized by that date. So that way I can include it in the Mega Top 43 and we can see who the Tess Hex fandom favourite of Eurovision 2018 is. So, that being said, let's crack on with my personal top 10. Kicking things off, in 10th position, earning my 1 point this year, we have Malta, Christabel and Taboo, which I know, right? I wasn't expecting a Thomas Giersen song to be in my top 10 either. Still, it is obvious that Christabel and the Maltese team, so Mushu and or Elton Zav, I'm not sure which one was involved in this one off the top of my head, but I know at least one of them was, plus Christabel obviously. It's obvious that it wasn't just Giersen who wrote this one, the Maltese team had a hand in it as well. It wasn't just Giersen throwing something together and selling it off to the highest bidder, so the song doesn't come across as insincere. Plus, this year so far, 2018, has been the year that I personally directly address my own mental health issues, and I do have quite a few of those. So this song has been something of a well-timed rallying cry. I mean, hell, I'm recording this today literally just after getting home from a counselling session, so I'm glad that this song is opening up a dialogue about mental health. Maybe I'm just falling for it because it's trying to pander to me in my specific position, but if that's the case, I don't care. I derive strength from this song whether it means to give it to me or not. So, sincerely or not, it has succeeded in its mission. I think most of the people who don't like this one just don't quite understand that the lyrics aren't meaningless fluff, but that could just be me. I know there are a lot of people out there who haven't made the connection between taboo and the taboo of talking about mental health, but that is what this song is about. Not everyone's twigged that, so they haven't necessarily appreciated it on that level, so I understand that. Still, my favourite lyric in this one is, "Got to be your own miracle." I feel that, you know, obviously it's not good to say someone who's mentally unwell, oh, just go and help yourself, it's all in your head, because that's the worst thing you could say to someone with a mental condition. However, if you do have the strength in yourself to deal with it, you can be your own miracle, even if that's just admitting that you need help. So, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It always starts with you. If you need help, admit that you need it, and then see if you can get that help. You don't have to fight all your battles by yourself, you just need to recognize that you need help in fighting those battles, or something like that. So yeah, break the taboo. Damn right, Malta. In my 9th place and getting my 2 points this year, we have Mikolas Josef from the Czech Republic and Lie to Me, and I was not expecting to like this one as much as I did. Yeah. It's another one where I wasn't anticipating it finishing in my top 10. Sure, it was up there early in the season because this was, what, the 3rd song to be chosen, but weirdly it just somehow stuck there for the whole season and finished in my 9th overall. It's equal parts a sincere bop and kind of low-key a guilty pleasure as well, because it's just so not part of my usual universe, and yet I find myself enjoying it thoroughly anyway. He's got attitude, he's got confidence, and I respect that. And he's really pushing himself because at the time of recording this, he's still recovering from a severe back injury because of his energetic choreography, which apparently he was only doing that crazy choreography to try it out. He's not a professional dancer, so good for him, he's pushing the boat out there. My favourite lyric in this one is, "Plenty of these greedies wanna eat my spaghetti." And we all know why I like that lyric, not because of what it is, but because of what it used to be. Because it's so non sequitur. Like, I'm not going to repeat the sweary version of the lyric, even though that's what I love about this lyric, but just... It reminds me of that one Vine. I'm just going to play it now, but just this Vine.
Whoa, you good, man?
You know, when you trip and your spaghetti falls out of your pocket, I have no reason for loving it, I just do. Moving back into the realms of the relatively serious, in 8th position, San Marino, Jessica and Jennifer with Who We Are. Fight me, internet. I want to believe that this song is in my top 10 on its own merits, and I sincerely believe that it is, and not just because it's San Marino, because I'm some sort of San Marino fanboy. Don't get me wrong, I am, but I'd like to think I've judged this song on its own merits. If it was bad, I would have said so. I really didn't rate Serhat's song from 2016, and I didn't put it unfairly highly just because it was representing San Marino, so I'd like to think I'm being fair here. Seriously though, I do think that a lot of the hate for this song comes from it being A, from San Marino, B, San Marino but not Sarah DeBlue, and C, it's got a white woman rapping in it. Personally, I enjoy this one completely unironically, and I don't find Jennifer's rap section to be cringeworthy at all. With some people, it's just like a gag reflex, like they just, oh, they hear it and they think, oh, it must be cringeworthy. Like, give her a fair shot. Like, this is legitimate, like, party anthem level white person rap. That isn't a bad thing. It's enjoyable, it's well-meaning, and I'd like to think that the song as a whole marks a turning point for Little Sunmu. They've already confirmed that they're going to use 1 in 360 again next year, so if this gets them into the top 15 of their semi-final, they don't even have to qualify, just as long as they're in the top 15. I think that will be the morale boost that the Tiny Republic has been needing for the past 10 years. Yes, the past 10 years since their debut in 2008. They need support. Anyway, my favourite line in this one is, "That was then, look at us now." And that might seem like completely, like, why would you pick that line? It's so nondescript, it doesn't necessarily link itself to this song. Just because I like the sense of progress, this sort of compare before and after, this look back and see how far you've come. I like that image. And also there's some song from, I don't know, there's some song from my childhood that was like, it had a CGI music video, and I think the only line in it was like, "Look at us now, look at us now, And I don't know, I just remember that and it makes me feel nostalgic, so that's part of the reason, but also I do like the poetic imagery. There's the P word again. Up next, in 7th place, and getting my 4 points this year, we have the Netherlands, Waylon, Outlaw in 'em. I know a certain friend of mine will be disappointed that this is only 7th, but still, this is absolutely a song that I was not expecting to like, considering that I really didn't enjoy Calm After the Storm at all. Like, don't try telling me that I just didn't get it. Like, yeah, I understood it, I appreciated its merits, I just never enjoyed it. You can appreciate a song without enjoying it. But here we are with this song now in the present day. I like the energy, I like the conviction that this one's performed with, and it's got a relatively original take on its message as well. I don't really have any strong opinions about country music, but this country rock combination will, in all likelihood, get my vote when the time comes. So yeah, jolly good show, Netherlands, especially bearing in mind I had like maybe a couple of prejudices just because it's Waylon, I wasn't expecting to like the song. And then I did, so well done. My favourite line here is just the refrain, the "everybody's got a little outlaw in them," because that just summarises in a sweet little digestible pill of what the song is about. It's this idea that, you know, everyone's got that little bit of, they've got something in them that they're willing to fight for, whether that manifests itself in their personality or not. Everyone's got something they believe in, and I appreciate the song acknowledging that. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to write about, and they've stylized it very well, so sure. Good on you, Netherlands. And now we come to 6th place and 5 points from the Tess. Following on from Waylon, we are absolutely in the territory of the love at first hearing songs now. And I'm talking about Greece, Yana Terzi and Onero Mu. I hope I'm saying that right, I'm so bad at speaking Greek. Anyway, I really wasn't expecting much from Greece this year at all, given how their national final went, or didn't go, as the case may be. But they really pulled it out of the bag with this one. I love the adventurous kind of vibes from the music, and as little as I can tell, being as I am absolutely a foreigner, it really does sound like it belongs to Greece. Like, it sounds like a Greek Eurovision entry, and I believe that's what they were aiming for with the national final in the first place, so yeah. And that's not least because it's in the Greek language, of course. I am absolutely sold here. If she can pull it off live, then yes, this is a complete package and I'm totally on board. My favourite lyric, and I'm probably going to butcher this, is from the refrain Osokiem pono aptocharti den thasesvina, which is, I believe, something to the effect of, for as much as it hurts me, I won't erase you from my map. Poetry. It seems like sort of a Stockholm Syndrome kind of line when I read it out loud, but it's like, it hurts to be in this devoted to something, whether it's a person or an idea, but I'm not going to let go of it. Like, it depends on how you look at it. Either you hurt me, but I'm not letting go of you, or as much as it hurts, I will continue to fight for you. So you can interpret it one of two ways. Either you're taking advantage of the outlaw in you, yeah, you see the connection there, or it's just an abusive relationship. I'm hoping that that's just another way of interpreting it. Clearly it's just got the same message as Netherlands, and I'll just run with that. Okay, talking myself back out of that awkward hole that I buried myself in just now. 5th place, 6 points from me, Latvia, Laura Risotto and Funny Girl. The big thing that I come back to with this song every time is my amazement that this whole thing was composed and written and arranged and performed all by one person alone, with no outside help, basically, and that was Laura herself. I love how dark it sounds, I love the effectiveness of the deep strings, I love the aesthetic of it, both musically and in the music video. I like how in the music video she, like, slowly transforms into this, like, Harlequin kind of makeup, and that's Harlequin, not Harley Quinn, although I suppose you could make that comparison as well, I don't know. So, overall, while it's not necessarily a song that I can directly relate to on a personal level, I absolutely enjoy it in every conceivable way on the music front. So good on you, Latvia. And my favourite line in this is, "I'm just the funny girl to you." Just the amount of resignation in that line. Like, the whole song is about Laura fighting back against being typecast with this image, but ultimately she knows that, like, she knows to stay in her lane insofar as, for all of her complaints, she's never going to break out of this image, and she's acknowledging it and complaining about it in kind of a framing that represents, I'm not happy with being the funny girl, but I know this isn't really likely to change, so I'm just going to vent about it and see what comes of it. Or something like that. And also the fact that in the diegesis of the song, that's her saying, look, you just think of me as some clown, don't you? And she's putting it into clever words to confront her not lover with, so that's hard to put into words exactly what I want to say, but that's more or less the gist of it. Moving on up to 4th place now, getting my 7 points, we have Israel, Netta Barzilai and Toy. Shock horror. Israel's in my top 10 and my top 5, but not my top 1? What blasphemy is this? Yeah, people are rather fond of making this out to be some kind of massive Marmite thing. Either she's your number 1 or your number 43 and you're not allowed to have it anywhere in between, but no. I'm impressed, and I take the song at face value, and I really, really, really do enjoy it. Like, this is one that I come back to and listen to a lot. And if it did win, I wouldn't be upset, but if it didn't win, I would understand. Yeah, this song isn't for everyone, but if you don't like it, don't be unkind to people who do. We're all allowed our opinions. So, if nothing else, look at how excited it's made the people of Israel for Eurovision. It's reignited that spark of passion in the country that, like, similar to the thing that Sebulta did for Switzerland a couple of years ago. You know, even if it does well, if it does badly, it's kind of already had a victory in and of itself, in that it's made her own country proud of her, which, that's something to be proud of in and of itself. So I'm happy with this song. There are just others that excite me a bit more than this one. My favourite line is, "I'm not your toy." I do have a personal connection with that line that I'd rather not disclose onto film and then have it recorded permanently in my life, but also, it's just a nice summary of the story of the song. And I do think that trying to say that it's absolutely definitely one-for-one tied in with the Me Too thing is going a bit far. I think the intent of the song is to be, oh, I had a negative experience on a date, okay, that kind of sucked. Some other women have it worse, please give them the time of day. I think that's more or less what the song's trying to convey, whilst also being empowering and saying, ladies or fellas, if you go on a date and they treat you like garbage, don't stand for that. And people who take it more seriously than that might, like, especially if they're using that to detract from the song, then they might be just taking it too seriously for the sake of it. So there is something serious here, but not too serious in a good sort of way. So well-intentioned song, well executed. Well done, Israel. Now, in third place, getting my 8 points, we have another shock twist, Bulgaria, Equinox, Bones. What the hell? Bulgaria in my top 10, and my top 5, and my top 3, but not my top 1. We're rapidly running out of fan favourites for me to have as my winner here. But I do think that this is another song where the people who dislike it are kind of overreacting a bit, in my opinion. It's another one that's a bit on the experimental side overall, and sure, not everyone's going to connect to it, some people won't engage with the style, and that's fine, you're allowed to, but other people are also allowed to like it, and that's also fine. It's an experience rather than just a song, and I enjoy it, and from what I've heard, their live vocals and their chemistry as a quintet are very impressive, and they've got relatively unusual subject matter to work with in the lyric department too, and you know me, I do appreciate a good lyric. So again, if it won, I wouldn't be upset, but if it didn't, I would understand. Albeit I'd be a little bit disappointed, but still. My favourite line is, "What is life if it's just of the earth? Consider yourself truthed." It's just, the whole song is just a massive mind blow. It's, I don't know, I just like that it sings about loving beyond the bones, you know, loving so profoundly that it's not just superficial, it's not just personality, it's loving the completeness of someone or something, and it doesn't even have to be romantic love, it can just be love with a capital L. It can be positive feelings towards anyone or anything in any positive way. And I'm glad that that's getting an anthem to support it, because not enough people think quite mindfully enough about that sort of appreciation for other people and things, so sure, good on you, Bulgaria, for having such a cleverly written song on such a clever and complicated concept. I'm hoping that this gets the score it deserves in Lisbon. And so we come to the top 2 of my top 43 this year. In second place, receiving my 10 points, well, here's fun. Until about a month ago, this actually was my number 1 winner until I realised that there was another song that I listened to a lot more frequently. But I'm giving my 10 points to Belgium, Senek, A Matter of Time. I love how cool and refined and mature this song is. I just don't like that they have to destroy an entire glass teapot in the music video because that's expensive and I want one. I know it was the inspiration for the song as a whole, but yeah, I want the teapot! But in all seriousness, I love just how far out of their shell Belgium has come in recent years. The Walloon side really raised their game back in 2015, and it's good to see that the Flemish side isn't backing down either, you know, with Laura Tesoro and now Senek as well. You know, Blanche was a tough act to follow last year, but Laura Groscheneggen has absolutely risen to the occasion with this song. I feel like I've said those exact words sometime before, possibly when I reviewed the song to begin with. I don't know. Well, that's how I feel anyway. This is an absolutely brilliant song that Belgium can be proud of, and really, people should be more excited about it than they are. My favourite line in this is, "Sometimes we act like we've already chosen." Eurovision fandom, seeing anything familiar there? No, but really, like, that's kind of why I connect to this line, because I'm just so used, like, having reviewed Eurovision songs for years and years and years at this point, I'm so used to people deciding who their winner is halfway through the season or earlier, and then retroactively convincing themselves that that's their permanent favourite and that nothing could ever be better, or worse still, no contest ever could ever have a better lineup than, I don't know, 1960 Plelf, because there are some fans who seriously think that nothing has ever improved. It's been a constant downward spiral ever since 1976. Oh, shut up. So there are people who work themselves into, like, they've already chosen who they think the best thing of all time is, and they will judge everything else as automatically being worse than that, and just, I have seen that so much, and so I appreciate that line basically calling people out on that. And so, though, we come now to my number 1 favourite of Eurovision 2018, first place out of 43, my 12 points, you've probably already worked out from process of elimination, but Switzerland, Zibs, Stones. Real talk for a second, why the hell aren't more people getting excited about this entry? For real. I mean, I know last year people were kind of semi-crazy about Dance Alone, which was my number 1 last year, but like, this year, people haven't even been talking about this one. Why? There's a brilliant song right under your nose. I'm not salty or anything, apart from the betting odds giving Switzerland the joint worst odds out of everyone at the contest this year for some reason. It's just, genuinely, I'm perplexed, I'm baffled, I really don't understand what it is about this song that people aren't seeing. Granted, in my case it does have a slight advantage in the form of having a bass line consisting of deep brass, which is a really quick way to get into my heart most of the time, but still, ever since the revamp, I absolutely adore this one, and to see everyone else just overlook it really disappoints me because, dude, bro, my guy, sister princess, pay attention to this song, it's really good. How are you missing this? Yeah, in my opinion, this is one of Switzerland's greatest entries of all time, and I would hate to see it go to waste on the night just because people don't have enough pre-contest hype for it. Like, that shouldn't even be a factor. This is a brilliant song, give it the time of day. And my favourite line in it is, "A different weapon but the same attack." Now that I finally understand what the song is about, I appreciate that line so much more because it's supposed to be about cyberbullying and like hiding behind the mask of anonymity, like, oh, you know, throwing stones from behind the scenes because you can, you know, and we're so afraid we repeat the mistake just to come first, just to be the first to tear down someone on the internet, be like typing in the comments, ooh, first, and then not saying anything of value, but also being the first to insult someone online just because you have that mask of anonymity. And it's not even because of the message that I connect with this song, although that is a strong plus point for it now that I understand what it is. I do recognise it is a bit difficult to latch onto what it's on about, but still, I just appreciate the song as a whole, and it's just satisfyingly written and delivered. Like, even just the musicality of the syllables, if I didn't understand a word of what she was singing, I would still find it at least some degree of satisfying, so why aren't more people crazy about Switzerland? Seriously, people? So, to recap, my top 10 of Eurovision 2018 consists of Malta, the Czech Republic, San Marino, the Netherlands, Greece, Latvia, Israel, Bulgaria, Belgium, and Switzerland, with my 12 points going to Switzerland. Zib Stones. People, why aren't you loving this song? If it doesn't qualify, I will be disappointed, but not massively surprised, just because people aren't hyping it up enough, but this song is so good! You're missing out on so much! Well, to be fair, my entire top 10 is so good. My entire top 11, top 12, and so on and so on. This year is a really good year. I say this every year because it continues to be true, but yes, that's my top 43 for Eurovision 2018. Share yours in the comments below. If you do so completely, all 43 countries, before the 4th of May, then I will include that in the Mega Top 43, which should be coming on either Saturday or Sunday. I haven't really worked out the schedule just yet, but just make sure I have your top 43, and I will do some magic things with that, and we'll see who the overall Tessex fandom favourite is. I worry that it might not be Switzerland, but I don't know, I haven't run any of the maths yet, but please, vote for Switzerland if you can. It's a brilliant song and you're missing out on so much if you choose to ignore it. Anyway, I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons. I have a Patreon. I keep advertising that for some reason. It's not like it's made any difference, but hey, that is a thing you can look at. And, I guess I'll see you in whichever video of mine you happen to choose to watch next. So, bye-bye for now. Vote Switzerland.